Salutations, people of YouTube. In this video I'm going to talk about the PSO-1 scope, which is a Russian or Soviet made scope, and specifically its usage with the Dragunov sniper rifle. Now, this is something I was researching for myself just to be better or actually be able to use it, because they are not necessarily it is not necessarily immediately obvious how to use those scopes, the Russian made ones, which in this case I'm not sure this is the real life also the real life scenario, but you can't really change your zeroing on a Dragunov rifle, and you have to compensate for bullet drop within your scope. And also you can use your scope, and probably that's the most important bit, to judge how far away objects are from you, and how much do you need to compensate. So before we start talking about that, let's use a slightly modern and high-tech way of determining how far people are, which are lasers. So this guy is 50 meters, the next one up is 150. I'm gonna zoom in now. So the next one is 300 meters. This dude 500, 7 roughly, and 1000 pretty much. So that's how far they are. If I zoom out, you can't really even see that guy because he's a kilometer away. And I'm gonna switch back to our rifle, and it's gonna start okay, there we go. So this guy is pretty simple. He's very close. I'm, by the way, using the earplugs here, because if I don't, I am afraid that you will be deafened, or I'd have to like kill the sound in the editing. But let me demonstrate how loud this gun is. We don't need to, I insert earplugs right now. So let's kill him. That's pretty loud, and it's not just for you, but everyone, whenever you're using this, everyone's gonna know you're there. So I'm gonna insert the earplugs again. I'm using, by the way, a scenario made by I'm trying to remove this thing. There we go. Made by Majarkin, which is called. You can download from the workshops, the Arma 3 Steam workshop for Arma 3, and it's called a Battle Royale training ground, I think. And it lets you use all kinds of weapons that are available in the Battle Royale mode. And by the way, everything I say about the scope is pretty much concerning Battle Royale mode within Arma 3. I mean, the general rules of the scope usage apply to other things as well, or possibly to some degree, because this is modeled on a real life scope, to some real life stuff. But there's different mods, the scope can be different, and the markings on it can be different, etc. So you'd have to adapt and find out how exactly that works for you. So we figured out how to shoot this guy. And this guy's pretty simple too. And in order to determine, I mean, we know already how far he is, but in order to get a rough idea, using the scope, we need to put it down, like put the guy down on the line right there, and then see where his head meets the curved line. Now he's definitely taller than the 2 mark, which stands for 200 meters. So we can just straight up shoot him in the chest like that. And he's wearing a plate, I think, so he's not going to be easy to kill. It's really going to take, there you go, 3 shots. Now the next guy, number 3, we put them on the plank and slide him to the left, and that marking is 300. It's a bit confusing what the 4 corresponds with and what line is it talking about, but it's the one beneath 4. It's not the one to its sort of southeast. So this is 300 meters. And the chevrons here, the top one is essentially like close quarters, but you don't need to do that. You can take off the PSO and use iron sights here in close quarters or whatever. The one in the middle, the highest small chevron, is essentially has you covered until you go beyond or close to 400 meters. So since this is 300 meters, you can still use the chevron, maybe make it slightly higher, like almost touching the guy's head, and then you get pretty decent chest shots. And he goes down in 2. Let's remove the lines. Okay, there we go. So the next guy, hiding behind the barrier, put him on the plank. Well, we can't really see his feet, but we can imagine where they are. So he is about 500 meters in there, I'd say. The next chevron, the second to the small chevron, is about 600 meters, 600 meters. So I would probably place this a little bit lower here and shoot him. Maybe I was wrong, maybe a little bit higher. And he goes down. Now we move on to the guy number 5, I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how far number 5 is. So number 5 is about 700 meters, I would say. And we are going to probably need to do something, because this is about 5-ish, and this is probably, or this should be 4 and this should be 6. But roughly speaking, they're not really that precise, at least not in the game. So I would say we put the chevrons sort of like that, maybe somewhere in the middle, and we'll be able to get a decent shot. You see that the bullets are slowing down at this point because he's so far away. 700 meters is quite a bit of a distance. Let's see if that kills him. No, it doesn't kill him. We'll have to reload. See, you can't really see the guy from sort of normal perspective without any optics. Let's finish the job. And he goes down. Now, because this is pretty much the last chevron, you're not really, I guess, meant to. You'd be using PSO-1 scope further than, at targets that are further than 700 meters away. This guy, we know, is almost 1,000 meters away, almost a kilometer away. We can even measure that. See, there you go. He's pretty far. He's out there. Like, he never hits the ceiling. So in that case, you probably need to deploy the weapon first, and then kind of guess where the next chevron would be. It's pretty hard to do. I would not recommend even firing anything beyond 500 meters with this rifle and with this scope in Battle Royale, because, I mean, very rarely you have non-moving targets, and even if you do, the chances of you killing someone at that range are pretty low, unless you're amazing, and if you are, then you shouldn't be watching this anyway. Plus you attract a lot of attention. There is no suppressor for this gun as far as I know. So we're gonna try that. Let's see, I think it's somewhere like that. That wasn't really a hit, was it? Alright, let's clear the lines. One more time. Nope. Maybe higher? You'll see a tiny movement when he gets hit. And because at that point the bullet just basically drops almost vertically, it's kind of hard to see. That was low, I think. You see my point. I've killed someone that distance in this in the training grounds here, but it takes a lot of work. And by the time, if you're doing this on the battlefield, by the time you're done, someone's probably behind you shooting in the back of your head. So yeah, I don't think I even managed to hit him. Just to give you the idea of scale, how far that is, I'm just gonna get up now. We can probably take out our earplugs, and I'm gonna speed up time and run over there just to show you how far that is. This is 4 times acceleration. That's guy number 1. We're only coming up to guy number 2, which was 150 meters. So next one, that's 300. And keep in mind that this would be 4 times slower if I didn't sped it up. It's 300 meters, I think. So that guy is 5. And that was pretty easy. 500 meters is very much doable. So he's probably 6. See, it seemed from our perspective, it's an interesting bit here, that he was standing almost directly behind it, and it's just because we're so far away. So that guy we don't really have that much problem with. The next one we also did okay with. And that's 700 meters. The one we're coming up to now. This here is 700. And let's take a look at where we were shooting at him from. Can't really see anyone over there. Not really. And then our next person is the one we had most trouble with, and actually didn't really manage to. As I was practicing for this video, I did actually manage to kill him twice, but I guess, the pressure of recording kind of takes its toll. So there we go. Can slow down time now again. This dude is 1 kilometer away from our position. You can hardly see the buildings we were at. If I was using the scope from here, I could probably make out what was going on over there. Let's try to use the scope now that we're here. Let's deploy it. Deployment doesn't really look that good, does it? But it's very helpful. So let's try to kill, for example, this one. So that's 500. So we should be shooting somewhere there, seemingly. And one more time. And he goes down. So up to 600 even, I think it's okay. It works. It does the job. And beyond that, I would think twice before using PSO-1 with the Dragunov sniper rifle. But this is pretty much it. This is what I wanted to show. This is what I want to tell. After you know about this, it seems pretty obvious that that's what the lines are there for, and that's what the chevrons do, and etc. etc. But you know, before you find out, you kind of go like, oh god, there's a guy. Which line do I use? How far is he? Etc. So potentially, now you know. By the way, the second curved line for 0.5 one, that's for things that are that high. So 1.5 is 1.5 meters, 1.5 meters, and that's a half a meter tall. So if someone is prone, for example, or like a low target, or someone is crouching, etc., then you should be using that one. I haven't really had much experience with that, so I'm not sure how effective that one is. I would assume that it probably is. But yeah, that's the idea behind the second curved line. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this was useful in terms of its content, and hopefully not too unpleasant in terms of its delivery. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider supporting it in any way you can. I will see you in the next one. Bye.